Ever found yourself spiraling down a late night rabbit hole of what am I meant to do and why haven't I found it yet? And let's be honest, who hasn't? Then you're in the right place. I'm Theresa White, career clarity expert and 5-time certified career coach, and I'm here to help you navigate the question of how to find a career that truly lights you up. On Career Clarity Unlocked, we're all about those light bulb moments. I'm talking to people who are still trying to figure out what they're meant to do, coaching them live to reach that magical, yes, this is it moment. And we'll also hear from those who've already found their dream careers and figure out exactly how they did it. Whether you're looking for inspiration or actionable advice on finding a career you love, I've got you covered. Time to unlock some career clarity. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Career Clarity Unlocked. I have a great episode ahead for you today, especially if you're deep in the job search, possibly second guessing everything from your resume to whether or not you're even in the right career anymore. And let me start with a quick question. Have you ever caught yourself scrolling to job board at 11:47 p.m., eyes glazed over, saving roles that kind of sound okay and you could do it, but they're kind of like meh? All while whispering to yourself, I guess I could do that? Yep, I've been there, so I know exactly how it is. And that right there is what I call the career clarity gap. And it's where so many talented, driven, hardworking women get stuck. So today's episode is all about cracking that open and finally answering, what is career clarity really? Because let's clear something up right off the bat. Career clarity is not knowing your Myers-Briggs type, your strengths, or your top 5 values from that workshop your company made you take. Those things are useful, but they're not enough. Real career clarity is knowing exactly what types of roles you want to target, which industries and which work environments feel right to you. And it's not just a feeling of like, yeah, I can do this, but man, this makes me come alive. And it's the difference between I'm good at spreadsheets and I want to be a customer insight strategist at a mission-driven startup where I get to turn data into stories that drive real-world change. Boom. That is career clarity. It's not fluffy, it's not vague, it's specific, exciting, and most importantly, it's actionable. If you're new to the show, I'm Theresa White, career clarity expert and 5-time certified career coach, and the only coach who guarantees you career clarity in just 30 days. Since 2020, I've helped over 600 brilliant, purpose-driven women stop settling for jobs that drain them and start finding roles that energize them, inspire them, and make them come alive. And in today's episode, I am going to walk you through what career clarity really means and what it is not, why not having career clarity is quietly sabotaging your job search and your confidence, what's really getting in the way of you gaining clarity, and I'm going to share my 3-step framework, assess, align, apply, so that you can start building your own career clarity today. By the end of this episode, you'll walk away knowing the difference between qualified for a job and being excited about it. How to identify roles that actually align with the life you want, so you're not in the same spot a year from now again, wondering what went wrong. And the one mindset shift that will help you stop wasting time on aimless applications and start moving with confidence. And I know, career clarity can sound so overwhelming, especially if you've been stuck in confusion, uncertainty, analysis paralysis for a while. But I promise, we are not going to be reinventing your entire life overnight. We're going to uncover what's already there, the skills you love using, the problems that excite you when you're solving them, roles that make you say, wait, that's a real job? Because they are. And I'm going to show you how to find them. So grab your favorite beverage, get cozy, and let's finally answer that big, scary, beautiful question together. What do I actually want to do with my career? We're going to start with defining career clarity. Because as I already have said, career clarity is not knowing your skills, strengths, or values. That is helpful. But if you know that you value growth, impact, creativity, and autonomy, That's fantastic. But now what job is that? Career clarity is actionable. It's knowing the exact types of roles that you're excited about targeting. It's not big ideas, but a specific group of job titles that genuinely excites you. And it is knowing the types of industries and companies that align with who you are. And to me, you know that you have clarity when it feels right in your gut. It's not this feeling of like, I meet their qualifications, I can do this, I should apply. No, it's reading a job description and being like, that sounds so exciting. There's people who get paid to do this. Oh my God, I would love to do that. And it is you feeling confident that this is possible for you to reach those roles. Maybe they're a stretch role. Maybe there's some upskilling required. Maybe it will require you to go networking, but it does feel realistic. Because if you get excited about brain surgery, but you're right now an accountant, well, that's not realistic. I mean, yes, you can go back to school and all of that, but you're not going to make that a reality in the next year. So that to me wouldn't count as career clarity unless you're committed to going back to school for that extended amount of time. But career clarity is a job where you're like, yep, no, I'll take 2 Coursera classes and I'm going to talk to a couple of people, but I know I can achieve this. And I'm excited to go in that direction. Now, you might wonder why I talk so much about career clarity. And it is because it's really, really important. Because without clarity, you are most likely in what we call a spray and pray job search. That is when you send up hundreds of applications and just hoping something sticks. But think about it. If you send out, let's say, 800 applications and you actually land one out of those 800, what are the chances this 1 out of 800 is actually a good fit? It's probably not. And most likely, you're going to be in the same cycle in a year or two. And career clarity is the one thing that can break this pattern and actually allows you to move towards work that feels aligned and fulfilling. And the beautiful thing is that career clarity actually makes your life easier because it streamlines your entire job search and everything that follows becomes so much easier and faster. You can position yourself as the ideal candidate if you know the roles you're targeting and the problem they're trying to solve by filling those roles, because then you can position yourself as the solution to that exact problem. That makes your job search so much more efficient, more effective, faster, and a lot less stressful. Now, you might wonder what happens if you don't have clarity. Well, that is what I talk to people about every day. It is this forever long, frustrating, and exhausting job search where you feel like you're wasting months or years applying to roles that in the end aren't even right for you. And to give you an example, I recently worked with a client and she came to me after applying for hundreds and hundreds of roles for over a year. She was getting nowhere. She felt stuck, super frustrated, discouraged. She didn't know what was wrong. Was it her? Was it her resume? What is going on? I had one career clarity session with her. She had this huge breakthrough that the roles she'd been applying to were roles that she was good at, she was qualified for, but they didn't excite her. They felt blah. And that energy carried in her interviews, in her resume, everywhere. The moment she figured out that customer success is the one piece that makes her come alive, that sparks her, it gave her a completely different and a really strong sense of direction. And the crazy thing is, well, actually not crazy because I see it happening all the time. But the first role she applied to in that field led to an incredible offer. That's the power of career clarity. So now you might be wondering, yes, career clarity is great. Why doesn't everyone have that clarity? Well, there's a couple of things that get in the way. And I see those with my clients over and over, but those were also the things that I struggled with myself 8 years ago because I had no clue what I was meant to do. Like into my early 30s, I was as lost as, I don't know, what is the saying? Well, Drop a comment below and let me know what the saying is. I'm missing it right now. My English is having a gap here. That I was lost. I had no clue. I was like, well, I studied philosophy. I have a degree in global leadership and sustainable development. I've worked for a car rental company. I've experience in HR. Right now I'm in recruiting. But what am I supposed to do? Because none of those have felt right so far. And how the hell I'm going to figure that out? So the three biggest blocks to gaining clarity that I see is one, overthinking. That is when you're stuck in analysis paralysis, spending months and months filling out values worksheets, taking quizzes, journaling, but never actually moving forward. The second one is a huge one, and it's the sunk cost fallacy. The sunk cost fallacy means that you keep going in one direction because of what you already put into it, even if it no longer serves you. So in your career, you feel like you have to keep going in that same lane because of all that you put into it. You invested your time, your energy, your money, education, even if it no longer feels fulfilling. But you worked so hard to get where you are that you feel like it would be crazy to give it all up and start over. But the really important thing that most people don't realize is that you're not going to be starting over, because those very same skills and the experience that you build can actually be applied in totally different ways, in different roles, in different settings. It's just so hard to see that when you've been in one lane for a long time and you have never experienced those other different ways to apply those same skills. And the third one is the biggest reason people don't gain career clarity. It's because you don't know how. I had absolutely no clue. And I was so fascinated with the question on why no one could actually help me answer it that I became obsessed with answering it and studying career development for years, and then finally developing my coaching program, the Career Clarity Formula, to give people actual guidance on how to find that answer for themselves. But most people don't know where to start. No one teaches us. And there is so much vague and abstract advice. We already talked about it. Find your values, journal about your purpose. And all that is beautiful, but it does not help if we can't translate that into real, actionable next steps. So inside the Career Clarity Formula, that is where I help people identify what energizes them and then turn that into a concrete career direction. That means the roles and paths that they feel excited and confident about. And I guarantee that I can help you within 30 days or less. And today I'm going to walk you through a piece of the program that can really help you take the first step towards gaining actionable career clarity. And the strategy I want to share with you today is called Assess, Align, Apply. First, we're going to assess, which means we're going to inventory your skills. Second, it's about aligning, identifying the skills that truly energize you. And third, we're going to apply. We're going to pursue roles that truly feel aligned. So let's start with the first step, assess. That's when we inventory your hard skills, your soft skills, and your hybrid skills. In order to inventory your skills, and this is all your skills, not just the skills that are officially on your job description. You might be doing things that you just do because they come to you naturally or because you cannot not do them. I, for example, worked with a merchandiser, and she told me she hates everything about her job. There's nothing she would want to even put down on the list of skills she wants to use again. Once we dug into it, she actually realized that she loves helping new hires. She loves training them. She loves taking them under her wings, getting them acclimated, teaching them, training them, setting them up for success. She wasn't paid to do that. It wasn't in her job description. But yet, she had over 10 years experience doing exactly that. So approach this exercise from a wide lens of all the things you do, even if those aren't the ones you're specifically being paid for. And then we're going to take it in 3 categories to make it easier to categorize and list all the skills you have. Your first category is going to be your hard skills. Those are your concrete abilities. It's answering the question, what specific tool, software, or technical method can and do I use? So this is the measurable, job-specific competencies, technical proficiencies, software knowledge, certifications, industry-specific expertise. If we, for example, take a marketing manager as an example, their hard skills might include Google Analytics, Salesforce CRM, SEO optimization, marketing automation tools, and so on. The second category are our soft skills. Those are your personal attributes. This is answering the question, how do you naturally interact with people and approach challenges? It's how you do the work you're doing, how you work with others, how you approach tasks. And that includes communication, leadership, problem solving, teamwork. Or if we go back to the example of our marketing manager, soft skills might be strategic thinking, cross-functional team leadership, or stakeholder communication. Now, our third category are hybrid or strategic skills, and they point towards the strategic impact your work has. In the question, the answer is, where do you add unique value by applying both your technical and your strategic thinking? So those are the skills that bridge the technical knowledge with human judgment or critical thinking. So those include data analysis and interpretation, user experience design, or going back to our marketing manager, that can include customer data analysis and segmentation, content strategy informed by performance metrics, or digital customer journey mapping. So to summarize that, we have 3 types of categories of skills that we want to inventory. One, your hard skills, your concrete abilities that answer the question, what specific tools, software, or technical methods can and do I use? 2, your soft skills, your personal attributes, answering the question of how do you naturally interact with people and how you approach challenges. And 3, your hybrid and strategic skills, pointing towards your strategic positioning. And those are the ones answering the question, where do you add unique value by applying both technical and strategic thinking? And if you're the type of person who's like, oh, it's so hard to start this list from scratch, can I have a list of skills where I can just check off if I have them or not? I got you covered. You can head over to my website, careerbloomcoaching.com. Under resources, you find your transferable skills guide, and this is a long list of transferable skills that has the hard skills, soft skills, hybrid skills listed, the most common ones, and you can go through them and find the ones that you confidently feel you have. Now we can move on to step number 2, which is called align. And now we want to identify the skills that energize and inspire you. Because now we have this long list of skills that you have, which is fantastic. You have a lot of skills. But if you now want to find a job that uses all the skills you have, you're going to end up in a job that's really similar to the one you're doing right now. And if you're not happy with what you're doing right now, that's totally against the point. So how now do we identify which of the skills you actually want to be using? This is where I invite you to think about yourself like a battery. And there are certain things we do that energize us, that make us come alive. Think about when you're in that state of flow and you just feel like I could be doing this forever, right? It's like your battery fills itself. And then there are things that drain us, that zap our energy, and we feel like exhausted and tired and we have nothing left. And those are things that are draining us. So now we want to look back at your list of skills and identify for each skill how it makes you feel when you use it for an extended period of time. So our marketing manager, for example, would think, okay, now if I would spend 4 to 6 hours SEO optimizing a website or a blog post, how would I feel inside my body at the end of that time? And really important is that you don't think about if you're good or bad at something. Because proficiency does not mean something energizes you. You can be really good at something and it can still drain you. So leave out all the shoulds or, yes, I'm good at this, out of that equation. We know you're good at it, but how do you feel honestly when you perform that task? Will you feel drained and exhausted? Will your battery be empty or do you feel energized, motivated, and empowered? Is your battery gonna be full? In this not visual, revisit the list of skills that you created, cross out the ones that drain and exhaust you, and circle the ones that energize and motivate you. There's going to be a lot of ones where you feel like, well, they're kind of somewhere in the middle. Cross them out. I only want you to circle the ones where you're like clear without a question of, yes, I love doing this. This is totally energizing and motivating for me without a question. Now, a great tool to help you identify what energizes and what drains you is the Sparketype assessment. And if you've been listening to my show for a while, you heard me talk about this many times. You can take it for free on sparketype.com. And the Sparketype assessment originated from the decades-long experience and research of award-winning author, founder, and business advisor Jonathan Fields. And it focuses on identifying your unique source code for work that makes you come alive. I did have the honor of having Jonathan Fields on the show. So if you haven't seen that episode yet, make sure you go and listen to it. It was incredible. And this is a free 10-minute assessment that you again can take on sparketype.com. Now we're moving on to step number 3, apply. This is when we're going to pursue and identify the roles that feel really aligned to you. And there's 2 ways to approach this. The first approach is that we're going to go to job boards like Indeed or Maxlist or LinkedIn. And you want to search this job board, not by job title, but by keywords of your energizing skills. So for example, if you have circled speech writing, Adobe Creative Suite, leadership, emotional intelligence, project management, those are the keywords you're going to type in the search bar of the job board website. And then you're going to see what jobs come up and you're going to read through those tasks and responsibilities that belong to those jobs. And you will have to play around with different combinations of your energizing skills. Enter 3 to 5 at a time. And then your goal is to find positions that revolve around the skills that you circled. Another way you can do it is to go to ChatGPT or any other AI tool that you enjoy using and type in the prompt, act as an expert career coach and write my ideal job description. My ideal job revolves around using all of the following skills, and you enter your list of energizing skills. As always, AI gives us a great starting point, but it will be up to you to refine it, to edit it, to fill out like, okay, yes, this does resonate, this doesn't, I want to rewrite that. And once you have your own version, you're going to use a second prompt and you're going to say, provide the 8 most likely job titles for the following job description. And then you copy paste your ideal job description in the way you edit it, that it really resonates with you, into that prompt. And then you're going to get a group of job titles that hopefully feel really aligned, describe the type of work that revolves around all the skills that energize you and make you come alive. Now, to recap this, our strategy for this is assess, align, apply. So assess, you're going to inventory your hard, soft, and hybrid skills. Align, you're going to identify which of the skills energize you and which of the ones drain you. And then third, apply. You're going to find the roles by searching with the keywords of your energizing skills or using ChatGPT to find roles that feel truly aligned and revolve around your energizing skills. So we covered a lot today. One important takeaway I want you to remember is that career clarity isn't just about what you can do. It's about finding what lights you up. It's knowing the exact roles, industries, and work environments that make you come alive, excited, and confident. It's trading in the draining cycle of, yeah, I guess I can do that, for a crystal clear vision of, this is what I want and I know how to go after it. Because without that clarity, you end up spinning. You're going to continue to send out hundreds and hundreds of applications, just hoping for something to stick. And then landing a role that might look okay on paper, but feels empty after another 6 months. And you're wasting so much precious time and energy on opportunities that never truly fit. And you might keep wondering, why do I waste all this time in my life doing something that isn't aligned, that isn't meaningful, that doesn't feel like me? But once you have clarity, your job search gets faster, easier, less stressful. You can build a personal brand that makes you stand out, that positions you as the candidate these hiring managers are looking for. And you'll know what to say in interviews, how to tell your story, because you're not guessing, you're aligned. And best of all, you finally feel like your work reflects who you really are. I can't tell you how priceless that is. I'm not experiencing that just for myself, but I see it with so many of my clients whose entire life changes. That they're suddenly radiating joy instead of feeling so depressed and anxious every day. So now if you're sitting here thinking, oh my God, Theresa, I really want that, but I still don't know how to really figure this out for myself. Don't worry, that's what I'm here for. And this is exactly why I created the Career Clarity Formula, my coaching program in which I guarantee you career clarity within 30 days. So if you're feeling tired of feeling stuck in that same old pattern and you're ready for real career clarity, you're ready for someone to guide you in identifying what truly energizes you and how that translates into actual roles and job titles, and find work that is aligned, fulfilling, and well-paying, of course, it's time for you to book a free consultation call with me and my team. We're going to talk through it, get a feel for where you're stuck, and help you figure out your next best step. Book a time right now on careerbloomcoaching.com. Limited time slots are available for this month. And if anything hits home from this episode, I would absolutely love to hear from you. I would love if you give one of the things from this episode a try, maybe creating a list of your skills, thinking about yourself like a battery and identifying some things that energize you and some things that drain you, or playing around with job boards to find roles that revolve around your energizing skills. And then let me know how it goes. Tag me on LinkedIn, send me a DM, send me an email, drop a review in the podcast right down here. I am cheering you on and I'd be so excited to hear from you. So that is all for today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I can't wait to see you back here next week on Career Clarity Unlocked. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Career Clarity Unlocked. If you're feeling stuck in that what's next spiral and are ready to finally break free, let's chat. You can book your free Career Clarity call where we'll uncover what's really important to you, tackle any obstacles holding you back, and map out your best next step. Schedule your free 30-minute call today on careerbloomcoaching.com. And before you head out, be sure to follow us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify so you never miss an episode. If today's conversation gave you new insights and inspiration, please leave a review. It really helps us reach more amazing listeners like you. And don't forget to share this episode with a friend or on social media. Your support truly means the world. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time.